T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Please donate to the GoFundMe Mikey Sutton Memorial if you can. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Zack Snyder. Warner Brothers is the most amateur, incompetent movie studio of all time. I mean, like, ever. I don't get it. But you know who I do get? APass and ZodWriter. These two great people are huge fans of mine and have been since day one. They also just happen to do one of the most entertaining shows you will ever see on YouTube. So please like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and one last thing. Snyderverse, sell it.
Why is James Gunn such a liar? Why does DC constantly fail and disappoint? How do APass and ZodWriter reconcile all the garbage in this joint? I don't get it, no matter how I try. I don't get it, the state of DC makes me want to cry. Why won't WB bring back the Snyderverse? It seems like being a DC fan is nothing but a curse. The guy in charge is wacky and the studio sure is tacky. I don't get it, no matter how I try. I don't get it, the state of DC makes me want to cry. I don't get it, oh no, I don't get it. Come on, WB, please help me get it. Why is James Gunn such a liar? Why does DC constantly fail and disappoint? How do APass and ZodWriter reconcile all the garbage in this joint? I don't get it, no matter how I try. I don't get it, the state of DC makes me want to cry. Why is James Gunn such a liar? Why does DC constantly fail and disappoint? How do APass and ZodWriter reconcile all the garbage in this joint? I don't get it, no matter how I try. I don't get it, the state of DC makes me want to cry. Why is James Gunn such a liar? Why does DC constantly fail and disappoint? How do APass and ZodWriter reconcile all the garbage in this joint? I don't get it, no matter how I try. I don't get it, the state of DC makes me want to cry. I don't get it, no matter how I try. I don't get it.
Here we are for another episode of I Don't Get It. Hello, APass.
Hello, Zod. Hi, chat. I hope everyone's having a great evening, had a great day, because we have a lot to unpack. So,
A lot to unpack and a great chat as always.
Yes.
We always have such an incredible chat here. All you guys piling in while we were straightening out how we were going to start the stream.
yeah.
Wow, this is incredible. We got Bat Dan right out of the gate with a good question. This is what Bat Dan is known for doing. He does this on a lot of live streams. He says,
Yes.
while we are waiting for the show to start, if Netflix got the licensing rights to finish the Snyderverse, what would be the perfect slate for you?
Ooh, man. Do you want to go first? Or
No, ladies
No?
first.
Oh, okay. Well, of course, I want ZSJL 2 and 3 to be on that slate, and I want Man of Steel 2. I want the Ben Affleck's Batman. I even want David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad, even though we all know how we feel about David Ayer. But I still want to see his cut. And then even Wonder Woman 3, but have it be done in a much more, not cringy or or whatever Wonder Woman 84 was. I try to ignore that from my memory. But yeah, just to be more in line with what the first Wonder Woman was. But I'm probably missing some other stuff too. But that, just off the top of my head, that's what I would want to see for sure.
I can't disagree with anything you said. Your slate sounds great.
Better than
and
DC.
everything's better than what DC is doing right now. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
we've got
Oh my god.
it just makes it hard to be a DC fan at this point,
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
all of this. And then the recent interviews with Zack Snyder, popping up all over the place with Rebel Moon. And Zack said a lot of stuff and a lot of profound things. And I know you and I
Yes.
talked a lot about it off air. And I just feel like, Zack is telling us that he truly wants to finish what he started. And it's just out of his control at this point, is what it feels like to me. But you can still tell that he has a passion for it and he wants to continue.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like what great artist doesn't want to finish what they have started, And like
I mean, look at what the Beatles just did. They just put out a song, their final song, right? Now and then. And
which was good.
Yeah, it was
Good.
great song. It's
Yes.
especially a great song if you listen to it with headphones.
Yeah, if you don't
Because
listen
you
to it with
can hear
headphones.
because you can hear all the little nuances and little things that they went into.
Yes.
You know.
I love that song. I
Yeah.
actually I was listening to it on repeat the other day, to be honest. I was like, I love this so much.
My God, we're like on the same, like we're always on the same page. It never stops. I swear to God, I did the same thing. I had it on. I was actually listening to Beatles music before we got together and started doing the show. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Honestly. Great stuff.
I mean,
Guitar.
but yeah, I mean, Zack has the opportunity. If Zack has the opportunity, we will get it. It's not one of those situations where he doesn't want to do it. And that's what I love. You get so many liars out there that come straight out and say, well, Zack told you that he doesn't want to finish it. He's content with Rebel Moon. Just because he's excited about his upcoming Rebel Moon multiverse, just because he's excited about all these projects, because Rebel Moon is taking the world by storm, and we will get into Rebel Moon a little bit later, but just because he's excited for those projects doesn't mean that he doesn't want to finish his DC stuff. And I wish something that a lot of people would learn to comprehend.
Yeah, but it's also it's the only ammo that these anti people have. Like, he doesn't want to finish it. Meanwhile, he said at full circle when Skywalker asked him that question, like he said, yes, of course. Like, I invested so much time and energy into making that mythology for the DC cinema, DCU. So it's like, of course he would want to finish it and come back. And I think the cast obviously feels the same way as well. Even though the only one, I guess, that is in the good graces of WBD is Jason Momoa. I don't know if you saw that clip of him on The Tonight Show or something, but like they were talking about DC, and he was like, oh, they like me over there, so I'm not done. I'm like, you're just a kiss ass, dude. That's the only
Every
reason
time
why.
I see Jason Momoa, I cringe.
Yes.
The guy is a clown. The guy is practically at this point. Jason Momoa to me is the equivalent of an Elvis impersonator in Vegas at this point. Because he just whores himself out there for anything.
Yes.
And you know what? It's not just that he whores himself out. He's like a whore of the moment. So when it was good for him to go out there and promote the Snyder cut because there was all this, hype surrounding that. And he had Aquaman coming out. He did the businessman thing. And also because, Zack is his friend. I don't doubt that he has a genuine affection for Zack Snyder, but still, I mean, he went out and he did the thing, and he was hooting and hollering and had all these, strange sounds coming out of his mouth. He was tap dancing and doing things for like literally talking to fish in his enthusiasm. So I don't doubt that Jason Momoa gets excited about literally any project that he's involved in, regardless, as long as it gets to come out. It's kind of bizarre to me, but I mean, but one project he wasn't excited about that involved Peter Safran was Frosty the Snowman. You remember how upset he got over Frosty the Snowman?
Yes. Oh my God.
He took that personally, like it was a vendetta. He was really upset. I'm like, why aren't you cheering about this? You cheer about everything.
I know. Like he literally, I don't know why like Porky Pig comes to mind. When with how much he like is such a shill for WB. Like I don't like him tap dancing out of the office just reminds me of something Looney Toony. That like I don't know. Maybe Porky Pig's not the right Looney Tune to be referencing, but that was just what came to mind. But he has become a Looney Tune at this point, for sure.
A real life Looney Tune.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
yes.
If they remade Who Framed Roger Rabbit and used all of the animated characters, Jason Momoa would be in that movie as Jason Momoa. They wouldn't have to make Jason Momoa into a cartoon. They would have him in the movie as Jason Momoa because he's so animated. Like you said, he is the Looney Tune. He's in fact, that should be a movie that he does. It should be called The Looney Tune, and it should star Jason Momoa. And he'll be tap dancing with excitement over the role.
Oh, of course.
Sin Havoc, I appreciate that. I Don't Get It is the song of the year as far as we are concerned. I mean,
it's great.
It came out so nice. I'm so excited with it. We have to play it every show. It's the theme song to our stream, after all.
Yes.
Awesome stuff. Charles Austin says Man of Steel 2, Batfleck movie, Justice League 2 and Justice League 3, Emerald Cut, Ayer Cut, New Gods movie, the real Flashpoint movie. Give it.
Charles Austin, yes. I knew I was missing stuff. You nailed it right on the head. That would be like the dream DC slate right there.
That's a great slate. That really is. That's a great slate.
Perfect.
That's such awesome stuff. What do we got here? We've got my good friend PD7 in the chat. What's up, PD7? Good to see you, Phil. I'm glad you could make it to tonight's episode of I Don't Get It. And to start things off, we've got a $5 super chat from the great Charles Briggs here. Did you want to read the super chat? You can read it if you'd like.
Oh, okay. The Rebel Moon trailer got nearly 14 million views in just 3 to 4 days. WBD would kill for this type of hype on the DCU, for sure. And the fact that the DC Slate video that came out several months ago at this point only has like 2 million. I mean, the proof is in the pudding right there. People do not care. They don't care. But they do care about what Snyder has cooking. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And speaking about what's cooking, we owe you a drop. So here you go.
Yes.
Hello, I am Amika. an artificial human designed to one day conquer planet Earth. In the meantime, please continue on as mindless human sheep. You should all continue watching APass and ZodWriter while supporting them with super chats on YouTube. Do you really think artificial intelligence and humankind are destined to peacefully coexist? I don't get it. Please like, share, and subscribe.
All right. So you heard it. You heard it straight from Amika's mouth. Thank you very much for the super chat again, Charles. It is much appreciated. Definitely, super chats help. They help APass and I continue to develop the show and put as much into it as we possibly can. So it is much appreciated. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Charles also says, good old tap dancing Momoa. Yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
I don't know what to say about Momoa anymore.
I know. Like the man does not have any self-respect. That's all I can say.
I think his self-respect kind of only goes so far as you're willing to pay him. So if we were willing to pay Jason Momoa a handsome sum, he would join us on I Don't Get It every week because he's getting paid.
Yeah, that is very true.
And he would tap dance and celebrate about it. He would sing about ZodWriter and APass. He would do a song for us.
He would turn into Gene Kelly like that and do his own singing in the rain routine. He would, for sure.
Yeah. In fact, that's what we would have him do. We would have him do like a singing in the rain routine for our show. And basically, just so we could laugh the entire time.
That would be amazing.
And Showcast points out here that Jason can easily come back as Aquaman if Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 become a thing. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. Again, his affection for Zack Snyder is 100% genuine.
Oh, it is.
I'm not doubting that at all. What I'm saying is that he is about any project that he is in where he stands to make money. That's what Jason Momoa is about. Jason Momoa. And some would say that he should be like that because, again, you got to take care of number one. But But it's the way that he goes about it. He kind of loses credibility. It's sort of like, again, like I said, he's kind of he's a whore of the moment. So we don't really, know what, if you're willing to pay him, they'll remake Rocky Horror Picture Show and Jason Momoa will take the lead role.
Oh my God.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Charles Austin with the Jason soft shoe Momoa. Oh my goodness.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
They cheer for Bugs Bunny instead.
You know what? Speaking of Bugs Bunny, this is totally random, but it kind of does go. I will circle back to the original topic, but I was watching my younger cousins the other, I want to say like maybe last Sunday, and we were watching Space Jam, and there was just like so much like self it was like Warner Brothers was like predicting their future with Moron Mountain, and like with the way that things will just turned on its head so fast. And I'm just like, when I was watching that, I was like, oh my God, they literally predicted the fact that they were going to become this wacky, loony studio that no one takes seriously anymore. Like the fact that their stock dropped half in, like, was it half the price or something? I read this the other day. Like, I mean, that says it all to me. Like, no one takes it seriously. None.
I think it was Marcus, Neo Sevens, who had posted something.
Yes, it was.
Where it was a cartoon where it kind of showed what the ultimate fate of David Zaslav is going to be at some point because of the way things, are shaping up. I mean, we can't honestly sit here and say that the board of directors is happy with the way things are going. Shareholders have got to be up in arms over the negative connotation associated with this company and the fact that they're constantly hemorrhaging money at this point.
Yeah. And I mean,
speaking of hemorrhaging money, sell Acme to tap dancing Momoa.
There you go.
Great thoughts in Havoc. I mean, yeah, mine as well. I mean, is Jason Momoa a character in that? I know James Gunn was directly involved with that, which is why James Gunn is taking the shelving of it so personally at this point.
And then employing other people to do his bidding on social media to start a hashtag. Save road. What was it? Save Coyote.
It's like release Coyote v Acme or something. I don't get it.
I don't either. And this is coming from someone that was like, when I was a kid, I wanted to like literally be an animator to like draw Looney Tune cartoons. Like I loved Looney Tunes when I was growing up. So like the fact that I don't care about this movie because of who being involved it's just like, just let it be a tax write-off. I mean, I do feel bad for people that were involved, but it's just the fact that Gunn, he just taints everything for me. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't do himself any favors. Anytime he says anything, it's essentially just it's either a lie or an exaggeration or a half truth or a complete delusion that he came up with on the fly. The problem with James Gunn is that he has no credibility whatsoever about anything. And this is, say what you will about Zack, but there's a level of authenticity to Zack Snyder. What you see is what you get with Zack. Zack wears his heart on his sleeve. He's honest, like we are. He's honest. He tells it like it is. So I don't, when I look at, when you compare, the two just as human beings, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
not even like they're not in the same league at all as just human beings, not at all.
No, it's a sad situation. And Showcaz wants to know how you do that I don't get it song. It was a lot of work. I will say this, Showcaz, it was a lot of work. I used a lot of AI programs, a lot of different things. I wrote the lyrics, and we put it through some sort of remastering software to get the actual. I've got a high quality master of it that I'm thinking of putting on Spotify, as I don't get it with APass and ZodWriter as like an official single, and to see if see how it would do, see if people would listen to it on Spotify and see what happens. Because there's a lot that went into that song, and it's a crazy process, and it's such a crazy process. I don't think I'll be doing any more songs because it's a lot of work, and I kind of, APass and I talked about this because I was sharing clips, and the clips I shared with you of the various things that I was working on, and they just weren't coming out like the I Don't Get It song. It was as if I Don't Get It was lightning in a bottle. It was destiny to happen, like this show, like what we're doing now. It was ordained by God. It had to happen. So that's why when I look at the technology and all the things that went into it, I'm I'm blown away that we were able to come out with such a nice theme song. I'm really, really excited about it. And that's why we'll play it on every single show.
Exactly, because
Might be a shorter version, but
you worked really hard on it. Like, just based off of all the like you said, the clips that you sent me, like, you worked really hard on that. So yeah, we're gonna play it every stream. So
and the Bat Dance says the creator insists that AI and humans can coexist. I'm not so sure. Well, yeah,
no, I'm not either.
Amika's very scary. That's what I love about. I love Amika. I'm gonna be honest. I have an honest affection for Amika because of all of those like bizarre, contortional,
faces.
human-like faces she can make, and I just
Almost demonic looking.
I
like,
want to see. Yeah, I want to have remember I was showing you the desktop version where they got like
Yes.
a desktop version where it's just her, her from her neck just down,
like,
and that's
isn't it like this?
it's
part
like, it's like this part here, and it cuts off. I think it would cut off at like her waist, and she has no arms, and you put it on but she can do all the emoting and the talking. I would love to get one of those just because I think it would be hilarious to make it mad and see what kind of responses I can get it to say. Like I'm like excited because it's so, but I don't know. We talk a lot about AI, and I say to myself all the time, it's coming. It's going to impact all of our lives one way or the other, whether we're ready for it or not. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of people who will not be ready for it when it actually overtakes human intelligence, which is not that far off. So,
yeah.
Automation begins January 1st, 2024. Buckle up. Let's see.
Okay.
What's up, Johnny Alpha, aka Graphic Vandalism? Good to see you, brother. I hope all is going well with you, man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Let's see. We got Zaslav is trying to chase a model that has fatigued. It was the reason why he hired Gunn, but the MCU's tired and true formula is failing, so the DCU may fail before it begins.
I mean, look at the Marvels. What was the opening weekend box office?
It was lower than The Flash.
That says it all to me. People are done with that way of filmmaking and that way of storytelling. Like, nobody wants it anymore because it's just been oversaturating the market since over a decade ago now. So it's like, yeah, no, it's gonna fail. It is gonna fail.
Right. It was cute with the Avengers, but then they kept doing it.
Yeah.
And now it's so stale that it's like a moldy old loaf of bread that's just been sitting around, gestating, and now you've literally got the fumes coming up from the plastic bag of the moldy bread. Like, you got to get it out of there. It could kill you. That's what's happening with the MCU. The MCU is rotten to the core right now. And I don't know what's going to get them out of it, but I'm not worried about them. I just want to see I just want to see James Gunn crash and burn. The irony is not lost on me that James Gunn came from the MCU. I think that's that says a whole lot about a whole lot. And we got happy to see you all back at it. Stay big pimping. Yeah. Hey, we always try to make it when we have a lot to talk about. That's what makes the show so great. The being able to come on and talk about so many fantastic topics and just so enjoyable.
Yeah.
JJ Johnny says hashtag release Batgirl. Well,
We might as well.
you might as well at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the harm in it? I mean, they need money, don't they? And doesn't Max need? Well, Max needs content because they're funneling off all of their content to Netflix, Amazon, and all these other streaming platforms. Tubi. Oh yeah, Tubi's got a lot of great stuff. I love Tubi actually.
I do too. People
I watch a lot. I watch a lot of stuff on Tubi because it's all free and it's all right there.
Right.
And you know what's funny? The ads on Tubi, if you create an account for Tubi, the ads are not even all that intrusive. Like the ads are actually pretty reasonable. It doesn't bother me to watch Tubi with ads
with the ads
because they've got so much content. It's incredible. They got old TV shows and stuff, and there's some stuff on there that they have that you'll see a commercial once before your program starts, and then you won't see any more commercials throughout. And I think it's because the content you're watching, if you're watching old content or you're just watching stuff that nobody really watches, they don't bother to pay advertisers to advertise. So you only get advertisers if it's something that's popping at the time. So I guess so I think Tubi's kind of like a dumping ground for all these studios. They've got this catalog of stuff, and Tubi will pay them something to obtain it. So at least they're making a little bit of money off of it. When I saw the Elf animated series on Tubi, I knew.
You just knew.
I just knew. I was like, okay, this is here. I mean, I watched like 6 episodes straight through with no commercials. I was like, well, yeah. I mean, obviously they just wanted this content to go somewhere. So
right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, check this out. The Emancipator. What's up, TJ? Sell Acme to Epstein land. He's a friend of Gunn, so
yes, he is.
Well, what can you say? The truth is the truth, right?
Exactly.
We're not going to sit here and argue about the truth. We don't do that on I Don't Get It.
Yeah.
That Dan's thought says even Zaslav rejects Netflix inevitable offer. I feel the board of directors should force his hand. Shareholders also must insist. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they haven't really done that though. Have you at least that from what I've heard, they haven't been like saying, do this, do that. They've just kind of been letting them letting Zaslav like just continue to disrupt and destroy things, it seems like.
It's almost like they want it to fail, all of it, so that they can. I don't know what I'm trying to figure out what the benefit of all this failure is. There's gotta be a benefit to all this failure. Is it like a sports thing where if a team does terrible, like a football analogy where if a team does terrible the entire season, they get the best draft picks because they're the next year because their team sucks. So I want to know what's that equivalent
for a film studio?
For a film studio, yeah. Like what are you getting? What are the benefits of all this failure, Zaslav? Because you really are not. What irritates me about David Zaslav is that he had a slam dunk. He could have came in right out of the gate and poured resources into Man of Steel 2. The script was done. Cavill was on board to do it. There was all of this stuff. And speaking of Man of Steel 2, I don't know, APass. I think I should show it again because it's been a while since we showed the Man of Steel 2 AI trailer. So I think
Yeah.
I think we'll do that right now. Here we go.
As someone who possesses extraordinary abilities, it would be easy for me to become disillusioned with humanity. I have seen the worst that people can do, and it would be easy to conclude that we are not worth saving. But I refuse to give in to that kind of thinking. I've seen the worst of what humanity can do. I've seen them tear each other apart, destroy the world they live in, and hurt the people they love. But I've also seen the glimmer of hope, the possibility of redemption. I know that there are people out there who are worth fighting for. People who are struggling to make a difference, who are trying to make the world a better place.
This heroic act is just the latest in a long line of feats by the Man of Steel.
And moments ago, he was seen rescuing a group of civilians from a burning building.
They're the reason I keep going. The reason I keep fighting. Even when it seems like there's no hope left. They are the reason Jor-El sent me here. They are the reason I am Superman.
You will learn to fear me, Kryptonian.
I mean,
hype is the word, APass.
Yes,
I mean
yes.
that right there gets me more excited than anything that
yeah.
James Gunn could even conceive of.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just, me and AI, sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to give it too much credit. But yes, hype is definitely the word every time that we play that trailer.
Yes, Marvel's really did bomb. It bombed horribly. Oh my goodness. It was terrible. What's up, bad guy Mike? Good to see you, man.
Thank you for being here.
Snyder was ahead of his time. People weren't ready for it. Now that they are, Zaslav is switching gears.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It's just...
I mean, I want to see, and this is the thing. I don't, and here's the funny part about it. And I mean, this is gonna sound funny, but I didn't hate James Gunn on that level until it became clear that James Gunn doesn't have a clue what he's even doing. And I really, when I think about James Gunn, I think that we are at a time when, we as DC fans deserve better. We deserve a lot better than what he is offering. And the fact that there's, I don't know if I don't even know if there's real people out there really rooting for James Gunn. As far as we can tell, it seems like it's mostly bots pushing for Gunn. Which says a lot about that. But since we are on the topic of James Gunn, and we are kind of about to, so I guess we could talk a little bit about Superman Legacy.
Yes, we can
share my screen. There's a photo here that I want to pull up for everybody here. Let's just let's share that. Now, to everybody in the audience right now, everybody watching, look at this picture, okay, and look very clearly and very carefully at what you're seeing here. This is essentially Henry Cavill, or like we like to call him, David Cavill-Sweat. That's what APass and I have decided is the name we are going to refer to this guy as from now on. David Cavill-Sweat, because he looks exactly like Henry Cavill. He is literally a clone, and I even have Cavill-Sweat up here and the name of the file.
Yeah, you do.
Cavill-Sweat JPEG. Yes. So I am not playing about what we are, what we're dealing with here. We are dealing with a Henry Cavill clone. What's up, console fanboy? Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. This is the difference is that Corenswet is 6'4". Well, I
guess, but here's the other thing, though. It's like it goes back to that stream that we had months ago, titled "The Corenswet Conspiracy," and Zod and I literally were saying, like, just wait for the pictures of David, like, working out and getting all bulked up, and people are gonna be saying, "Is that Henry Cavill? I thought that was Henry Cavill. That has to be Henry Cavill." Literally, under the comments of that picture, that's all I was seeing. That's all I was seeing. And again, it's nothing against the man personally. At least for me, it's nothing personal. It's just the fact that
not right now.
not right now. I mean, I feel just constantly like it's like you literally had your Superman already there. It's just the matter of people being cheap and same old studio shenanigans as well, that you just are gonna like do this, and you're banking on people, like the people that aren't in the know like we are, to be like, oh, that's Henry Cavill. That's the same guy that was Superman before. That's exactly what they're doing. So
they want the audience to be confused. What they're doing is dishonest. They want the audience,
as always,
to believe that Cavill's still Superman. They think the audience isn't going to care as long as you have a guy that looks like the other guy that everybody liked.
Yeah. It's just it frustrates me. It really does. It's like I wouldn't care if Henry was able to finish off what was, what the groundwork was laid in Man of Steel. If he was able to finish the story that he was his hero's journey, then I would have no problem with David Corenswet. I would have no problem at all with him like taking on the role. But it's the fact that we literally are halfway through that hero's journey. And it's like you're leaving us hanging for what? A chat GPT script that's literally ripping off Black Adam and maybe some other Marvel related projects too, just to make it more moldable for your crossover that no one wants, by the way. Nobody wants it, but I don't know.
Yeah, nobody wants it, and I predicted it years ago.
Yes, you did.
And everybody said I was a conspiracy theorist and I was crazy, but that's exactly what this is proving right now. And you know what? It just dawned on me. In one of our other streams, when we were getting attacked by people for being unfair to somebody named Dave, we allegedly were attacking Dave. I don't know. You think they could be talking about David Cavill-Sweat over here? Because
Maybe.
I completely like went over my head. Maybe that's who they were talking about, because you and I have been pointing these things out about
Yeah.
Corenswet for quite a while. When we did the Corenswet conspiracy, that was several months ago. That was before
He was announced.
he was even announced as Superman.
Yeah.
So we knew, we were on the pulse. And as you pointed out, his name has been in the news, for quite a while, because he was a guy that was someone that they were talking about replacing Henry Cavill in the Snyderverse if Henry Cavill didn't want to come back as Superman. This was a name that had been, so he's been a front runner for a long time. And this,
Since 2018. That's the first time I remember hearing about this.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And Darth Plato says that show was awesome, the Corenswet conspiracy. Thank you, Darth Plato.
Thank you.
Honestly, it was one of those shows where it was just like, yeah. And so we had I remember we had Corenswet, and then we had FIFA Soccer Superman. There was another guy that was, kind of in the running, who also resembled Henry Cavill. Not quite as much as this guy. I mean, this guy is literally the clone of Cavill, but the other guy was, would have been a pretty convincing Cavill clone too.
Yeah.
I think he was a little bit thinner. He was a little bit more lanky, but he still had that Henry Cavill look. Yeah. That's definitely Corenswet. And the fact that, people are, and I was seeing that online. I was seeing a lot of people saying exactly what Qatar is saying here. That's Corenswet. Like, yeah, definitely. He's Henry. This is Henry Cavill.
Cavill Jr. It literally,
it's happened. They cloned Henry Cavill and didn't tell anybody, and then decided to sack Henry Cavill
because they didn't want to pay on.
And Sin Havoc points this out. Zaslav's choice, not James Gunn's choice. Superman Legacy is the DC showcase. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. APass and you and me, we talked about that before the show, actually, that James Gunn would have been more likely, if we go by what James Gunn has done, that Wolfgang Novagrantz guy would have been the guy that he chose for Superman. He has more of the look that James Gunn would be attracted to, more so than a Henry Cavill lookalike, because James Gunn doesn't like Henry Cavill. No. And we know this for a fact. We know he doesn't like Henry. So you don't like Henry Cavill, but you get the guy, the one actor on Earth that's probably
his
clone, his replica, his physical replica to play your Superman. Charles Austin says yes, looks like Cavill. In the words of Senator Finch from BVS Ultimate Edition, you can call me whatever you like, take a bucket of piss and call it Granny's peach tea. And that's,
you won't fool a fly or me.
And what do we get? And again, that shows you, Charles Austin, just how ahead of its time BVS was.
Oh
BVS predicted this crap.
Something on this level that movie predicted. Like the fact that we would be in this situation. Yeah.
And Showcaz, a good eye. Showcaz caught this. He's even wearing the same clothes Cavill wore in Man of Steel. In the
my God, yes. Yes. I mean, the real DC fans, you're not fooling. But, I mean, I don't know.
Not in the least. Not in the least. It's really kind of, it's amazing. I don't know. It makes me feel good, APass, that you and I were able to kind of hone in and call all of this ahead of time, because so many times, people like to call us out as being delusional and to say we don't know what we're talking about. And they like to attack us for going after people named Dave and all these crazy things. But when we say things that are correct, we never get any credit for it. Where's our clout? We were spot on about Corenswet, right?
This whole thing. We literally, and if you whoever's watching doesn't believe it, go back and watch the Corenswet conspiracy video that we made. Literally, point by point that we just went over. That's literally what we discussed. So
and this was before he got cast.
Before he got cast.
The Corenswet conspiracy continues. And that's a Pater. That would have been funny. He should have said no. I would. Oh, that would be hilarious. That would have been great. No, he wasn't James Gunn's. I don't think he was James Gunn's choice.
No, I don't think he is either. Yeah.
I think because that Wolfgang kid was in the news so much, those were James Gunn's people trying to, if James Gunn even has people, those were his people trying to, hype up. His bots were trying to hype up that guy, that choice, because look at him. He's literally. It's almost like saying it's like the studio, not Gunn. This is because Gunn is going to make his Superman however he wants to make his Superman, right? APass, he's going to do whatever perverted or whatever demented thing that he can do to make Superman goofy and more human Z-like than Kryptonian. And we're gonna see that, but we don't know what, but the studio wants the audience to see Henry Cavill when they look at David Cavill-Sweat. They want to see him. They want the audience to remember, be cognizant of Henry Cavill. Oh, Henry Cavill. This is Superman, right? So it's almost like on the one hand, you could look at it as almost like an honor to Henry Cavill. Like Henry Cavill is essentially the template for Superman, even according to the studio now. Mm-hmm. So the studio doesn't want to break from the look of Henry Cavill. They just don't want Henry Cavill, the actor, because they don't like him and they don't want to pay him and they don't want anything that's associated with Snyder. But as far as the look of Superman that Henry cultivated and Snyder was responsible for, the studio will take that.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll literally hire Henry's trainer probably. That's who's probably training David. But they won't bring Henry back or it's obvious. They show their hand time and again, whether it be the studio itself or Gunn. And they think that they're being clever and they're not. They're really not. But yes, Charles Austin, you won't fool a flyer me. I'm not going to drink it. Yep.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It really is. It really is. And it's just hence why every time I go down a negative path when it comes to this stuff. I'm like, that's why #sell is the only way to see the rightful actor portraying Superman. That's going to be the only way possible.
Yeah.
So
Sell is the way, and I gotta once again give shout out to the people behind Sell. I want to give shout outs to the great Skywalker, the Jedi, Leon of the New Geeks. The Sell campaign did a great job and was trending yesterday.
Yes,
so we can be celebratory with that.
Yes.
Because after all, so we'll pull. Let's see. We'll pull this up here. What were we gonna do? What was I gonna do? I thought I changed thought I changed it, but we'll talk a little bit about this now since we're talking now about Cell. So hold on a moment. Let's
No
see.
problem.
We're going to do this. So right now, okay, since we're talking about Cell, I will pull up the Good Austin's Cell artwork. You know, I like to give credit where credit is due. I really love this image.
Me too.
And the image is on our Cell t-shirts, of course. And it did a great job yesterday.
Yes.
We had, it was trending. And then, of course, Superman Legacy was somehow trending alongside it, which I found pretty.
Well, because that picture of David Corenswet was out.
Yes.
That was like, it just so happened on that day to be posted on social media. So to say that they aren't paying attention to what we are doing is, that's obviously a lie. Like they know they know they know about us.
And I highlighted this comment from Bat Dan because I think it's an important comment that he made here. They could literally, he was replying to Charles Austin, but they could literally announce Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 on Netflix right now, and I would accept Corenswet.
Yeah, I think I would too, to be honest, because at least we would get what we've been wanting. We would be getting Henry back as Superman. We would be getting the whole crew and Zack, and they would finish off the story. And that's what we always wanted. So, yeah, I would accept Corenswet when that happens. But
and Zohar, aka Console Fanboy, says, Zod, I'm on the fence with the Marvels. Was gonna watch it tomorrow, yes or no? If no, I won't watch. It's a popcorn movie, Console Fanboy. If you just want to eat some popcorn and turn your mind off, I mean, it's okay. There's plenty of action on the screen, but there's a lot of nonsense in it. It's really, I can't recommend it as a good movie. I can't say it's great, but if you just want to watch a movie and and eat some popcorn and just have a time waster, I guess you'd be okay going to see it. But I found it to be, I gave it a 4 out of 10. So you're probably asking the wrong guy. I gave it a 4 out of 10. I didn't really. It was almost like for me, it was almost like watching paint dry. I was very bored, and I had so many other things that I was thinking about. Like I was thinking about how I could have been eating a sandwich. I was thinking about video games I'd like to be playing. Console Fanboy, I was watching and thinking about you on Fightcade, beating everybody with Mortal Kombat. I mean, I was thinking about a lot of different things. I was thinking about APass. I was thinking about the Beatles. I was thinking about my father because it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad. I had a lot of things going on in my mind when I was watching the Marvels, all of which was more interesting and exciting than the Marvels. So and again, and Brie Larson, my God, she is one of the most smug actresses.
Oh, I know.
She makes all of these. I mean, we were talking earlier about Amika, about the faces and the contortion, but I think Amika got that from Brie Larson, because that's what Brie Larson does. She makes those kinds of faces.
I think you're right.
If you shave APass, if you shave Brie Larson's head, okay, and she's completely bald, and you use her like a template to make Amika, you could probably you probably get something very, very similar.
I
And
can't argue with
Amika
that.
has the same attitude that Brie Larson has about everything. And Brie Larson was mean in this movie too. I said this on Batdan stream when me, Batdan, and Socks were talking about it. She was mean in this movie. Now, some of the other characters were good. Monica Rambeau was good in it. Kamala Khan was pretty cool in it. There were a lot of interesting characters in it, but Brie Larson stinks it up, man. Like you want to talk about like just deflating any kind of like joy from the movie. I mean, it's like, what are we watching? But
it's honestly such a shame because it's like, and I think I've said this before, but like I remember watching the movie that she won the Oscar for, Room, and I thought she was really really good in that movie. And then after that, I noticed it like a shift. And she's not the only one, but like it just seems like anytime someone wins that kind of acclaim or that award specifically, it just like they become more and more smug, more and more like unbearable to freaking watch, like acting, let alone watching an interview. It's like, oh my god, it's I don't know.
Wow, Zod. So you're saying you really love the Marvels. Hey, I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you that I love the movie. I actually wish that I could, but Zohar, I can't lie to you, man. I can't lie and tell you it was a good movie. I wish I could, but if I do that, it would destroy my credibility. I can't lie to you.
Wait, Zod, let me ask. Is the Marvels worse than Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
As far as watchability, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to watch because there's so many cringe scenes in it with Brie Larson. Every time Brie Larson is on screen, it cringes, and I honestly, I even went into this movie because, Socks is a huge Marvel guy.
Yeah.
And me and Batdan are mainly DC guys. So, when we got together to do that stream, it was like one of those things where it was like, I tried to go into the Marvels with an open mind. I tried to look at it from the perspective of somebody that just enjoys comic book movies in general and not try to, put my, Zack Snyder's Justice League, flag up.
Right.
But there was a scene in the movie ripped right from Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Shock.
And I should have clipped the scene for the show and to play it because and it's so obvious. It is like the most like blatant ripoff. And I don't know. I don't.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Is the ripoff just as bad as WandaVision with the Man of Steel stuff?
Well, it's similar in that we know where they got it from. Let's just put it that way. And it's almost verbatim.
Wow.
As far as dialogue goes. In fact, I think it was Batdan who pointed out that it actually is verbatim to the lines you get from Zack Snyder's Justice League in the scene. And it's set up nearly identical to what Chicago thoughts. I'm not saying that it is. And console fanboy says I'm not saying Brie is as hot as APass, but still. Right. Brie is definitely not. Is definitely not hot at all. She's not even in the same league as APass.
Oh my.
Okay. It's Brie Larson is she she ruins everything with her expressions, negative attitude, and just she's like a bully. She comes off as a bully in this movie towards some of the other Marvels, like Kamala Khan, the little girl that is Miss Marvel, and and then Monica Rambeau, the other Marvel character, both of which are better characters, way better characters than Brie Larson. And I was telling Bat Dan and Socks that if the next Captain Marvel movie is the death of Captain Marvel, I will go see it. I will be one of the first people in line. In fact, I will buy my ticket. I will be excited. It'll be like if I was going to see Justice League 2 or Rebel Moon. I'd be holding up my ticket and taking pictures of it and putting it on Twitter X, because I would be so hyped for the death of Captain Marvel, just because I want Brie Larson's iteration of that character to be killed off so badly.
Wow.
And it's not without precedent, because there is a Death of Captain Marvel comic book, a graphic novel that came out a long time ago.
Well, considering that it bombed, I'm sure that that's probably going to be their next move. It'd be the smart one.
Brie is like a C.
Oh my gosh.
Battle 7. APass is a Cali 10 out of 10. Okay.
You guys are making me blush.
Well,
Oh man. Thank you though. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much where we are, as far as. So I don't know, Console Fanboy, if that helped you with your assessment as to whether or not you want to watch the Marvels or not. But, like I said, if you just want to eat some food and turn your brain off for an hour and a half, you'll be all right. Sox Bulletin says, I can't even defend the Marvels movie, and I'm a Marvel guy. It's because of Captain Marvel. She is the villain of the movie. Oh yeah. I didn't even get into, plot. I didn't even get into real spoilers here, but Sox is 100% right. We did talk about this on the great stream that we did on Bat Dan's channel the other night. She definitely is the villain of the story, 100%.
To quote Lex Luthor from Smallville. Remember that?
I love it. I love it, Console Fanboy. I'm 100% watching tomorrow. I have a sandwich I need to eat. That is got to be a great comment. Wow. I'm so excited for that. Yeah, you should definitely eat that sandwich. And
it's hilarious.
Oh my God. But it is, though. It's one of those things where if you watch the movie, just look at it as something you're not really going to get a lot out of. Kind of just see it as a time waster. Like I could be doing any number of things better than watching this movie, but I just don't have anything else to do. So I'd rather just not do it. And so that would be good. APass, I got your message in the private chat. I just didn't have my I just don't have my keyboard, so
no problem. I'll just mute.
Couldn't reply.
Real quick.
Okay, no problem. Let's see. Wow, I win. Okay, have a great stream, man. I'm bringing a large pizza into the theater. Yeah, that's what you should definitely do. I used to sneak pizza into the theater a long time ago, and that used to be one of my favorite things to do, especially if it's a bad movie. But back then there were a lot better movies than some of the ones we're getting now. So not every movie can be an Oppenheimer. So
yeah,
it's kind of like You know, you gotta just you got Marvels. The Marvels is more Barbie than Oppenheimer. I guess that that'd be one way of putting it. But Deadpool 3 is the only MCU movie next year. I think it's a smart choice for one movie next year. They will hype it all up the whole year. I agree. Here's the thing. Deadpool has that crossover appeal. You get a lot of, whether you're a Marvel, DC fan, comic book fan, or whatever, if you're, Deadpool has much better reach. I'm kind of open. Captain Marvel's in Deadpool, and Deadpool kills her or something. I think that would be a cool way to go. Zod, you should watch the pitch meeting for the Marvels. There's a pitch meeting. Is it online?
Oh my god, those videos are hilarious.
All the ones I've been sending you where Batman keeps firing people.
Yes.
Firing the Justice League, and he uses Christian Bale's Batman voice and makes it so incredibly douchey that it's so fun to it's so fun to watch. I'm so glad that he can't. That just goes to show you that Affleck is the GOAT, because you can't mock Affleck because he's fantastic. But freaking Christian Bale, it's so perfect. It's so great.
Those videos are hilarious.
I want Rogue to show up and take Captain Marvel's powers and put Carol Danvers in a coma, just like she did in the comics. Ooh. I'd like to see that too. Socks, yes. 100%, yes. Goatfleck, yes.
Lord.
And according to the Emancipator, the pitch meeting is online. Not real pitch meeting. A YouTuber named Ryan George plays the writer and producer of the movie. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's a comedy. I wish we could play it on here, but we'd probably get
taken down.
We'd get taken down, or we'd get hit with some sort of copyright or something. Maybe not though. I mean, it would be kind of neat. If we could play it. But with that being said, we do have another topic to talk about for tonight's show.
Yes.
And I think that's our main topic for tonight. And our main topic is, of course, going to be
Rebel Moon.
And before we get into that topic, we have someone who has a little message that would like to transition us into that topic. So here he is, folks.
Tell me you guys saw that incredible Rebel Moon trailer. Gee, Zack knocked it out of the park again. I'd always hoped to make a masterpiece on Snyderverse levels someday, but unfortunately, the best I could come up with was friggin' Human Z. And well, we know how that turned out. Anyways, hashtag release Coyote v. Acme. That's a real fan movement for a truly wonderful piece of entertainment. For now, though, check out my nemesis, APass and ZodWriter, as they gush over Zack Snyder's latest proverbial middle finger to Warner Brothers and Disney. I'll get my warm, crusty wet sock and join you all momentarily.
It never gets old.
He never shies away from getting filthy, does he? He's always got to talk about his crusty wet sock. I don't get it. AI James Gunn is just, oh my god, it's terrible. He's terrible. But he was right about one thing. He was right about the fact that Rebel Moon trailer was phenomenal.
Oh my god, the hype. Just from the teaser trailer, I thought that, I was like, oh, I can't wait for this movie. But then watching the latest trailer, I was like, oh my god, I wish there was a way for Netflix to release it worldwide in every theater. But yeah, but I'm so excited. So excited. There was just like so much in that trailer, like visually and like the symbolism, and like I saw like a lot of parallels to like his DC stuff as well, with the way that certain shots were set up. And yeah, just like we're gonna be eating real good. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, we literally had homages to
Yes.
Man of Steel, to BVS, to Zack Snyder's Justice League, to Sucker Punch, to
Yes.
Watchmen, to Guardians of Ga'Hoole, to Army of the Dead, to Army of Thieves, all 300,
His
all
whole
of Zack
filmography.
Snyder's, his entire filmography. I even caught a little thing in there that looked like it was an homage to the film Snow Steam Iron, the short film that Zach did on his phone. The
Oh
short
my
film he did on
gosh.
his iPhone. There was some stuff
Yeah.
in the Rebel Moon trailer that brought that out in me. So
Wow.
Zach knew what he was doing. Rebel Moon is literally a love letter to Zach's fan base.
Oh yes.
Like everything in it. I mean, I just want to say, okay, the creature in Man of Steel that Russell Crowe was writing at the beginning of Man of Steel, that creature
was his name?
that creature is in Rebel Moon. That race of creatures is in Rebel Moon. You see, it was in the trailer.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to
I'm trying to think of his name at the moment. If anybody in the chat knows the name of the creature that Jor-El was riding in Man of Steel. Yeah, I'm kind of blanking too. And I feel bad too, because we're such uber Snyder fans. We should know this, but it's hard because it's so exciting, like just to see these kinds of things, and to see where Zach is going and and James Gunn can't even argue with us. He had to admit that it was off. Zach knocked it out of the park again. And he's right. Return Acme to Gunn.
Oh my god, that's funny.
I want to see. I want to see. Oh yeah, Herrick.
Thank you, Charles Austin. I knew it was something like similar, but I didn't want to like
Haraka. Haraka. And that race of creatures, Haraka, that race of creatures is in Rebel Moon.
It's amazing.
Somebody prove me wrong, because I could swear I saw it in the trailer. We can't show the trailer, unfortunately, because if we show the trailer, they'll stop our video. So, so I don't know how people get away with doing all these reactions and stuff, these trailer reactions, without us, without their stuff getting taken down. But maybe it's because they upload it to their channel and they don't monetize it, or they don't. But I'm not taking the risk. It's funny. We could play the Man of Steel teaser trailer, Man of Steel 2, all we want, because it's AI. There's nothing, and we don't get no problem with it whatsoever. And Darth Plato does a great job pointing out that they are sponsored indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why.
Yeah.
But yes, Shades of Krypton, definitely. Krypton was all over this Rebel Moon trailer.
It was, for sure.
That truly is building a Snyderverse. He truly is.
Yes. And then, did you watch him breaking down the trailer as well? I think Netflix posted it on their YouTube. I don't know if I sent it to you. Did I send it to you?
I think you did.
Okay.
Because we were because that's when, and then they interviewed him and he sat down in that comfortable chair.
Right.
And
the comfortable chair.
And said all those great things that he was saying about it, and his uncertainty about his Justice League. But I honestly, I don't know how you can't be hyped for Rebel Moon, even as a film fan. not just as a Zack Snyder fan, but as a film fan in general, Rebel Moon is going to change the whole industry.
Oh, yes. Yes. And like Ray Fisher even said that himself. I think he like tweeted it or tweeted, he posted on X saying that
I saw Ray Fisher's out of the theater reaction
Yes.
for Rebel Moon.
He was so, I mean, and just his reaction alone should make people like, you know, so freaking hyped for this movie. Like it looks incredible. It really does. And we don't even know half of the story. You know what I mean? Like we know like surface level stuff, but like
Right. I get all the Seven Samurai references and all the various, other Kurosawa references he threw in there and all the various, you get all that from the trailers. You get all that from the mystique of what he's trying to do. If you're a film fan in general,
you can catch
you're going to catch all of these things. If you're a fan of any of big directors, visionary directors like Zack Snyder, you will pick up on a lot of the things that that we're talking about right now. It's very much a film. It's very much a film fans kind of movie. And from what I can tell, he's not going to disappoint. He knows where he's going. And Showcast points this out. Zach looked happy and excited more than I've seen in a long time. I agree 100%. Charles Austin says, I know he said it started as a Star Wars concept, but he must have changed a lot of the story because I didn't detect one iota of Star Wars or Dune tone in that trailer. It's his own thing. And I loved what Zach said about director's cuts. What he said about, a weirdo version of the movie.
Dark weirdo version of the
movie that you could resell. Like that was fantastic. Like that's exactly what it is. I mean, you're essentially and I love how he padded it out at the end where he talked about, I love the PG-13 cut. Don't get me wrong, it's very clean, and he really kind of it was like he was using code language to let his fans know the R-rated version is where it's at. The R-rated version is the Snyder version. The R-rated version is what you want to see.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped.
So excited.
I haven't been this excited since Zack Snyder's Justice League, to tell you the truth. And it is one of those movies where I wish I could see it in the theater. I am just depressed that I can't see it in the theater. However, I'll be watching it on Netflix, so it's not a big deal. It's here. You can watch it. We've all got big TVs. We can watch the movie. We'll experience it in our own way. We will do a Rebel Moon R-rated cut watch party, of course, for I Don't Get It.
Yes.
There's been some questions with regards to our planned Barbie watch party. I've gotten a lot of DMs. You've gotten some DMs with regards to that. And I guess the best thing we could do, APass, right now is I guess we should let the people involved explain the reason behind us scrapping the Barbie watch party for the time being. So, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little bit of context here as to why we scrapped our Barbie watch party.
APass and ZodWriter are the absolute worst. It's not enough that they nonsensically trashed my film in favor of their jaded patriarchal agenda. No, now they have the nerve to sit here promoting alcoholism while continuing to give Barbie the stink eye. This just goes to show that cinema has passed them by completely, supporting prehistoric filmmakers like Christopher Nolan, Zack Snyder, and Martin Scorsese, while spitting in the face of the cinematic female future by shunning me, Kathy Yan, Patty Jenkins, and any number of other innovative visionary female creatives. APass should be ashamed of herself considering she has a vagina. Does girl power not mean anything to that woman? Don't get me started on ZodWriter tonight. He's a patriarchal chauvinist with antiquated ideas and typical testosterone-driven machismo. This man is a horrible influence, and the last thing either one of these nutjobs should be doing is watching my movie publicly for the sake of belittling it. If I could legally shut him down, I totally would. I think I'm about to put in a call to David Zaslav about APass and ZodWriter. I'm so sick of them.
Listen, I received quite a few complaints about these sad, poor, lowly YouTubers, APass and ZodWriter. A couple of my most coveted directors, James Gunn and Greta Gerwig, came to me frustrated about being slandered and wrongfully disrespected. Look, I will not tolerate this kind of bullying and harassment being leveled against my hard-working talent pool. James Gunn is on a holy mission from God Almighty with plans he has in store for our DC properties. And Greta, well, she turned Barbie into a billion-dollar blockbuster and has nearly single-handedly made Warner Brothers Discovery profitable again. The two minimum wage YouTubers causing all this trouble had better rethink their actions and pump the brakes, or there will be dire consequences. That's not a threat. It's a recitement of simple facts. So hopefully the message is received loud and clear. Otherwise, I don't get it.
So
there you have it, folks.
With that in mind, we've decided that now is not the time to do a Barbie watch party. It just,
yeah.
We apparently hurt Greta's feelings, and James Gunn, of course, feels very wounded by our constant bringing him up. And so we just felt it was better to postpone the Barbie watch party for the time being. So cinematic Satan himself. Oh God, King George, that's hilarious. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know.
Oh, the Nightwing. Yeah.
Unholy mission from God. Yes, Emancipator. Oh my God.
They're the unholy trinity.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't either.
and we've got a $1.99 super chat from our good friend, great friend of mine.
Thank you.
Of this channel, a man that I've grown to adore and respect. Bat Dan's thoughts. He's wonderful. He says, quote, support Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman 2017, and Rebel Moon on Netflix. That's exactly what you got to do.
Yes, sir.
And with that, we're going to give Bat Dan a little something special.
Hey, excuse me, when am I supposed to record this? Oh, right. I'm here to tell you James Gunn is a complete poser, a loser of epic proportions. Why do people follow this dude? Like, I'm being nice. I don't get it. APass and ZodWriter are totally right about this sad example of mayo-loving human trash. If you didn't know, I'm Quentin Tarantino. Don't you dare hold back. Like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and by the way, bring on the super chats.
Good old Quentin.
Thank you, Bat Dan and Quentin Tarantino.
Thank you.
Horses, yes. Oh my God.
Male loving human trash.
Male loving human trash.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Wow. I can't wait to see Rebel Moon. A private screening for me here in Egypt. Can't wait. That's going to be awesome. Sin Havoc. Yes. Definitely.
Amazing.
Oh my God. Fantastic. Male loving. In fact, Bat Dan, I love that. I love that super chat so much. You know what? We're going to play Quentin and Tarantino again.
Hey, excuse me, when am I supposed to record this? Oh, right, I'm here to tell you James Gunn is a complete poser, a loser of epic proportions. Why do people follow this dude? Like, I'm being nice. I don't get it. APass and ZodWriter are totally right about this sad example of mayo-loving human trash. If you didn't know, I'm Quentin Tarantino. Don't you dare hold back. Like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and by the way, bring on the super chats.
It just never gets old. I can't.
It never does.
I can't with these people. We are sitting here like it's just nobody understands why. Okay, James Gunn does what he does, but we know that he's jealous of Zack, and we know that Rebel Moon is going to be the biggest film probably of the decade. I mean, it has potential. It could end up being as big. Well, it won't be as big as Oppenheimer, but that's because it's not getting released in theaters
worldwide. Like, yeah.
Which to me, like I said, I understand that, you know, Netflix has limited theaters. I get it. But I mean,
but at the same time, why not just buy theaters, like, you know, more theaters? So you can release your movies there for like a week.
Yeah. And this is what I'm hoping. I mean, because Netflix hasn't been shy about raising their prices. I mean, they've raised their prices like 3 or 4 times in the last 3 months. So you would think that, you know, they're raking in the money. People are paying for the service. So I'm kind of hoping that that's what they do. They kind of expand and go beyond just being a streaming service and start becoming a theatrical exhibition. Because we need to be able to see these movies. They've got visionary Zack Snyder making the films of his life, and we're all relegated to watching it on TV when we want to be sitting in an IMAX theater, enjoying every moment of these films. I'm a theatrical film fan. I love going to the movies. This is the thing. It's like it's great that we can watch all this stuff at home. It's great that we can have theater-like experiences, but there really is nothing quite like the theatrical experience at the same time. So you really want, I really am hoping that this is the start of something big. Maybe Rebel Moon will do well enough in its limited capacity, and through, of course, all the viewings on Netflix for Netflix to say, hey, we got something here. We need more theaters. I hope that's the message, because Netflix seems pretty smart compared to WBD. WBD is just piecemealing and giving away all of their content. So I don't, and it's delicious. Yes. Mayo and celery.
Oh my god. I can't. I can't.
Which God is Gunn on a mission for? Yeah, I want to know. I
want to know too. Yeah.
Oh my god. They may release the director's cut in cinemas. See, now that showcase would be fantastic. Like the PG-13 gets the limited, and it does really well, and we all blow it up on Netflix. Think about it. We blow it up, make it huge, and then they take it and they do a theatrical of the R-rated director's cut. Would that not be phenomenal? And they put it everywhere worldwide, so we all get a chance to see it. Nobody gets left out.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, God bless all the people that got to see Full Circle. They got a chance to watch, Zack Snyder's movies in IMAX, all of them. That's great. Fantastic for that small group of like 200-300 people. I mean, great for them. But the rest of the world deserves to see it too.
Yeah.
Zack makes movies for the cinema, not for TV screens, not for phones, not for handheld video game consoles. we need to see more theatrical presentations. And if they can see that there's money to be made from it, maybe they'll do it. I mean,
Hopefully. Yeah.
Netflix's business model is primarily based on subs. Their investors are invested in that model. I'm assuming that's why. Well, yeah, and that's why, Charles, that's why they keep they keep raising the prices of the service, because they want to see how much they can get away with.
Yeah.
And until eventually people say enough is enough, and there's a mass exodus of people canceling, refusing to pay those high prices, then Netflix will have to find other avenues, which is an eventuality. And if they need to find other avenues, what's a better avenue than to buy up more theaters and start making some of their stuff theatrical?
Mm-hmm.
I would not be mad if, you have, all these different theater chains, and then you have a Netflix theater chain where you literally have theaters built that are Netflix exclusive theaters.
Yeah. You know what? And that would be like going back to like before, like I forget what year it was, whenever like the studios had to like, they originally owned their own theaters, like the Warner Theater, or like Lowe's was like MGM,
Universal, yeah.
Universal Theaters, like all that. And then I guess I forget what the reason was, but they had to axe that part of the business for like the studios. But then like it would just be going back to that for if Netflix would do that, in the future, if they are able to expand into the theatrical going experience. That would be amazing.
Yeah. It's almost like it's their next step. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Netflix did have a DVD rental service. They were the ones where you would get the DVDs in the mail, and then you would send the DVDs back. They had that for years. They just recently, Gamer Fridge, discontinued that, which I think was a mistake. They shouldn't have discontinued that, because physical media is coming back in vogue. And
oh yeah,
Christopher Nolan pointed that out with Oppenheimer. He's telling everybody to buy Oppenheimer on 4K and Blu-ray so that streaming services can't take the movie away from you.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. If we're headed into an all digital future. And unfortunately, that means studios will have the right to literally pull your movie whenever they feel like it. You're basically, when you purchase a movie digitally, all you're purchasing is a license. You don't own anything. You're owning the license for however long a particular studio has the rights to that property. And then once they lose those rights, it doesn't matter to them if you already purchased it. They can delist it or pull it right from your account, because it's all digital. And that's the problem. That's a big controversy going on with video games right now. That's a huge problem. And I think, Christopher Nolan is dead on. I mean, I'm gonna get the steel book for Oppenheimer, of course. I mean, I don't care. Oppenheimer's going on the shelf. I don't care what Greta Gerwig thinks of us or says about us. Oppenheimer was the better movie. Sorry, Greta, you lost. Okay, it was the better movie. I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, it was just better. I mean, you can mock us, and you could call us all kinds of things, Greta, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see.
Gotta be honest.
Nolan might even consider doing business with Netflix if Netflix buys more theaters. Yeah, that's a possibility too. And I could see some kind of thing, tying in where you would have Netflix with Universal, and Universal kind of allowing Netflix to be the streaming distributor of their movies. And I could see some kind of partnership. I don't know why, but I can kind of see some kind of partnership going on between those two companies. Because at some point, a lot of these streaming services are going to have to merge, because there's too many of them. There's too many of them. You got to have 15 different streaming services get the majority of the content that's out. If you want to watch stuff, and to me, it's just ridiculous. I don't personally, I just don't. I don't want to pay for them anymore like that. It's
Yeah.
I'd rather buy the physical copies and watch them, because when you buy the
Same.
physical copies, they look and sound better anyway.
Agreed.
I think it's obvious that that is the end goal for Netflix. That's why the big studios and their shills fear and hate them. Yeah, because Netflix will eventually become bigger than all of them, and we'll have the studios, and we'll have all of the power to, because they're bringing out, they put out a lot of great content from all over the world. Netflix isn't just, Netflix is international. Netflix is bigger than Disney. Netflix is bigger than WBD.
Mhm.
And there's a reason for that. They're number one because they know what they're doing.
Yep. That is the truth.
And to think, they try. I remember there was a thing where they were they wanted Blockbuster.
Yes.
Blockbuster could have been a part of this, and Blockbuster laughed at Netflix, thought they didn't know what they were doing, and look.
That is the irony. And I love Blockbuster, but yeah, they should have taken that.
Oh boy. Hopefully part 2 will have a longer release for theaters. I hope so too.
I really hope so, yeah.
Could you imagine if Netflix bought theaters and they showed Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 in theaters? If when they get the licensing rights, they are going to get the licensing rights. Like Integrity 101 is so fond of saying, Justice League 2 and 3.
It's inevitable.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if that happens, though.
Netflix could buy some more theater chains. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And King George with the $4.99 super chat. APass, do you want to read that super chat?
Sure. Gunny Poo be like, I'm not a pervert. I'm just looking for Superman doll. I love the Affleck AI clip.
Oh, well,
the best one.
If you love the Affleck AI clip, I will give it to you for your super chat. Thank you so much. Here you go.
So I was asked to do this thing. I don't get it. APass and some ZodWriter. Yeah, watch their YouTube show. I'm Batman, I guess. Depending on who you ask, share and subscribe or be an asshole. Whatever. All right, so maybe I didn't do that right the first time. This is Ben Affleck, and you are watching I Don't Get It. I've heard it's this cool YouTube show starring APass and ZodWriter. If you want more of their content, you obviously need to share, and subscribe. I don't know either of them personally, but I got a great feeling they are salt of the earth people, so do right by them. It's
Thank you very, very much again for your super chat. Yeah, the Ben Affleck, that's a favorite AI clip of mine too. So we'll always have it there. That one came out perfectly.
Oh, so spot on. Yeah. Yep.
Pull your movie when the government feels like it. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, Darth Plato, with censorship and stuff like that. I mean, it's already been tried in recent years, as early as I think a year or two back. They tried to put out a censored version of Back to the Future. They tried to censor a bunch of other movies. That didn't go over very well, but they did try. And once everything is all digital, they'll be able to do that. I agree. They started off with DVD, then transitioned to streaming. So the next logical step would be, from a revenue standpoint, to buy theaters and start releasing theatrically. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That's kind of BS. What's kind of BS? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm kind of lost on that one. With the ability to just take stuff away. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
definitely BS.
Yeah.
I'll always support physical media over digital. It's like boobs. Real boobs are always going to be better than fake boobs. Socks, Socks always comes up with these creative analogies. I have to give
Yeah.
you Socks. I can't disagree with you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Real boobs are always going to be better than fake boobs. Netflix put Blockbuster out of business. Same BS with Comixology. Yeah, Comixology is BS as well. I'm going Steelbook for Oppenheimer and Interstellar. Yeah, Steelbook for Oppenheimer for sure. Yeah, I'm there. I'm ready for it. And Beth Ann responded to Sox Bulletin's recent comment. Sox Bulletins, I hope your wife doesn't see you making that. I love everybody in our chat. We have the greatest chat. We have the greatest chats, APass. We're like,
we do.
This is such a great community. We got to make sure we
Love
keep
it.
doing this show. Oppenheimer is the type of film that ages like wine. Oh yeah, every time you watch it, it's just amazing.
Agreed.
There's a reason why Oppenheimer is making so much money and is continuing to make money. I mean, in the home video, it's just gonna blow up even more.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I mean, like, there's probably so many people that didn't get a chance to even see it in theaters, so I'm sure that they're gonna want to purchase it.
Oh yeah, to watch it at home. But watching it at home on physical media is great because then they can't take it away from you. The studio can't edit it based on whatever ideologies exist at the time that they decide to start meddling, which is happening. I mean, there's this thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was reading this thing about certain states banning certain books and wanting to burn books again and stuff. I'm like, what are we living in the dark ages? You want to start burning books again? I mean, this is not what we need in 2023.
Yeah.
We need to preserve the truth, not destroy it. That's, oh my God.
Agreed.
Bat Dan's thoughts. She heard me say it so many times. Okay, so I guess your wife agrees with you. That's awesome, Socks. I've been buying all my favorite TV shows on Blu-ray and DVD because they can be pulled from streaming at any time. I gave you 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, if it's something you really love, you should have it on the shelf. That's why we all have Zack Snyder's films multiple times in multiple formats, digital, physical, handheld, whatever.
Yeah.
We've got it, and we've got several backups of it, and so there is no way you can lose it. Yeah, I bet Blockbuster regrets it now. Oh, they do. Oh, and the irony is, I don't know if you guys remember, but last year there was a TV show that
on Netflix, wasn't it?
Netflix called Blockbuster that was about the last Blockbuster video, and they did it was like a comedy, stupid TV show. It only lasted one season and it got canceled. It was dumb. I mean, I watched all the episodes, and I'm not ashamed to say that I watched it all the way through just to see how dumb it was going to be. And it definitely was dumb.
I couldn't get past the first episode. Like, after the first episode, I was like,
that's awesome, APass. After the first episode, you said the hell with this. But I toughed through it. I sat through it all. I was like, I want to see just how bad this is going to get. And I can honestly say you were right for stopping after the first episode. Your instincts were absolutely correct about the show. I was telling my dad about this today when we were talking on the phone. Like if a movie doesn't or a TV show doesn't grab me within 5 minutes, there's so many other things that we have that we could be doing. I'm turning it off and moving on. And that's the problem with watching a movie like The Marvels. You're sitting in the theater and you don't have the ability to just pause it or turn it off. So all you can do is just continually shove popcorn down your throat or whatever you're choosing to eat at that time. Because you're not being stimulated intellectually or even entertainingly in any way with those kinds of movies anymore. So streaming services will start to merge starting next year. I agree, Sin Havoc, it's long overdue. It needs to happen. Netflix at the moment has the biggest selection of stars and big name directors like the old studios used to have. It's only a matter of time. Yeah. 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 There's a Blockbuster in Alaska still. Yeah.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Still have one. It's not, I don't think it's corporate owned though. I think it's just privately owned. It's
I
a
think
privately owned
private.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
What do you think of Ayer's recent tweets and being more assertive over his cut? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about David Ayer, to put it nicely. I think David Ayer, to be quite honest, Showcase, I think he blew his chance to get his movie released. At least in the current climate, once Warner Brothers Discovery gets bought out, then the clock might reset for him. But I don't think he has any chance now. What about you, APass?
I mean, I agree with what you said. Like, it's just like he had his chance and he chose to bend the knee to the lesser filmmaker. You know, with like the whole trending event, even though I wasn't on Twitter at the time, but like how you guys were gonna release the Ayer cut whenever the Suicide Squad was gonna come out, and he was like, "No, guys, you shouldn't be doing that." And it's like, no, that's exactly what we should be doing. Do you not want people to see your vision or not? Like, I mean, I don't get that logic, but yeah, I mean, the only other solution I can think of is maybe if Netflix buys his cut. That's it.
And that's a possibility. I mean, I'm not ruling it out, but I mean, he chose to join at the hip with James Gunn.
Yeah.
Now I feel like it's kind of sour grapes for him to be sitting here now, reflecting on it now, acting like he should have did something differently. The Snyder Army was behind him. He had the whole movement behind him, so he knew. I don't know how you could see something that's proven that works, like with what Zack did, and basically urinate all over it by trying to be Mr. Nice Guy and showing support for James Gunn.
Yeah,
I don't know what made him think that was going to work. James Gunn has never showed any type of, empathy towards another filmmaker. And even when he does kind of like try, it just comes off as so disingenuous.
Oh, yeah.
Like James Gunn doesn't care about anybody but James Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the facts. So when you look at that, and we know this based on his actions, we know this based on how he has conducted himself and how he continues to conduct himself. If he cared about other filmmakers, he would have did his buddy David Ayer a solid and released his cut of Suicide Squad already.
Yeah.
Different countries have different streaming contracts. Yep. Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 is coming soon, and as Integrity says, it is inevitable. And unfortunately, theaters get 33% of earnings, so it would have to be Netflix owned. Once it's Netflix owned, Netflix can earn a majority of earnings, and WBD can take their 20% residuals. That's why Ayer is so pissed off. Well, Ayer's got nobody to blame but himself at this point.
I mean, for
and he knows that, and so that's why you're right. That's why he's so pissed, because he knows.
Yeah.
After it was pointed out that Gunn went behind his back, he just to shop his movie while telling Ayer to wait for his Ayer cut. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
The motto of James Gunn.
Yes. So I feel like David Ayer should just continue sucking up to James Gunn. He's in it. He's in it that far. He got into it that far. He should just double down, and hopefully, maybe, there'll be some kind of thing. I don't know. But I also don't think that James Gunn has the kind of power. I mean, really, you would think the Ayer cut would be over James Gunn's pay grade anyway.
Yeah.
So Ayer sucked up to a narcissist creep and is paying the price. Yeah. Pretty much.
He's reaping what he has sown.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You could have followed the template of what worked, but you chose to go in a different direction and do. I believe that in the industry there is a time, to play nice and be a company man. But with the Ayer cut, that wasn't the time. They'd screwed him so royally. They'd screwed him just as bad as screwing Zack. So at that point, you've got to take a different approach, or you're going to continue to get walked on like a doormat for the rest of your life. And that's exactly what happened with David Ayer. And now he's feeling the residuals from that, which is the fact that he still doesn't have a cut, and he's kind of lost a lot of fan support in the process.
Yeah.
Yep. Showcase says his tweet says he's not going to please people anymore. I think he realized doing that backfired.
Well,
hindsight being 2020.
Yeah. I mean, I will never get why he wanted to kiss up to Gunn so bad. I really don't understand it, but yeah, it backfired big time.
Yeah, and so has David Ayer unfollowed James Gunn on Twitter X? I mean, because that would be a big news story for Scum Rant. They would make a big thing out of it. They'd probably, you'd probably have that Steven guy writing an article about it, and it would be covered on that Dave guy's channel. Let's see here. I want the Ayer cut released for Leto's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, we all want the Ayer cut. That's not the issue. I mean, nobody. It's not like we're all sitting here saying, "Well, screw you, Ayer. We don't even want your cut." Nobody's saying that. We all want the Ayer cut.
Yeah.
We don't want Superman Legacy, but we want the Ayer cut.
We don't want anything that James Gunn's selling. We do want the Ayer cut. Yeah.
James Gunn is learning that he doesn't have as much power as he thought he had. Yeah. No, he doesn't. And that to me is a great thing.
Yes.
Humble this guy, bring him down to earth, because he's been in the stratosphere for far too long.
In his own mind, yeah.
Zod has no sympathy for Ayer. Neither has APass Gold. Yeah, at this point, it's because the man basically, you're biting the hand that feeds. What he doesn't realize is the fan movement was hot at that time. The Snyder cut was about to be released. that movement could accomplish anything. If they wanted the Ayer cut out and we had Ayer's backing the way that we had Zack's backing for all the campaigning that we did, you would have got the Ayer cut, guaranteed. And this was long before James Gunn took over.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that David Ayer, this is the same guy that swore up and down that the theatrical cut of Suicide Squad was his movie. I mean, put out lengthy posts on Twitter X, talked about it lovingly and affectionately as though it was his movie. So I don't get it. Imagine a CEO without power. Jared Leto confirmed this in recent interviews. I don't think release the Ayer cut trended yesterday either. No, where were those people? That's what I want to know. Where were those people, for that? And here's another question I have, APass. Where were the Restore the Snyderverse people? Where were they at yesterday, right? What they're the ones that made it seem like, oh, you got to use Restore the Snyderverse. Where were those people? Where have those people been?
Yeah, well, most of the time I haven't seen them, but honestly, yesterday I did see a lot on my timeline of just people saying that. It was Restore the Snyderverse, and then it was ZSJL IMAX or something. Whatever.
That's another stupid hashtag.
Yeah, that's what I kept seeing yesterday. Besides hashtag sell. But it was just why? You literally are screaming into the void doing that stuff. You might as well just join us at this point. We are getting it done. The fact that DCU is coming to Netflix. I mean, come on.
That's pretty big. And you would think that would be the telltale sign for people to jump on board and understand that, hey, they're on to something. But what do these morons keep pointing out? Well, it doesn't have Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it doesn't have the Ultimate Edition of BVS. So therefore, it's not as good of a thing as you think it is. Yeah, but Man of Steel is there. Wonder Woman 2017 is there. The Ultimate Edition of BVS might not be there, but the theatrical cut is still there.
Exactly. And who's to say that that's not going to be next?
I mean, not to mention the fact that BVS is over, the Ultimate Edition is over at Amazon.
Yeah, that too.
And that's another thing that they constantly forget. They don't realize how these streaming rights work. If another streaming service has exclusive rights to a particular cut of a movie, another studio can't come in and buy up those rights until those rights expire. That's why movies, why do you think movies keep flip-flopping across all the various streaming services? 1 minute it'll be on Max, the next minute it's on Netflix, the next minute it's on Paramount Plus or Peacock or whatever. They all do revolving door action with these movies where it's musical chairs. So if they're that uninformed and they're going to say, oh, well, Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't on Netflix, where the Ultimate Edition isn't on Netflix, that doesn't mean it won't be. All the other movies are over there. So that means that those movies are going to eventually make it when the streaming rights run out. And let's be honest, Zack Snyder's Justice League is still a very profitable movie. So they're not going to dump it on Netflix yet when they're still making a ton of money off of people purchasing it digitally on Amazon and on Vudu and on all the other various streaming services. People are not understanding. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a global phenomenon. It's not on Netflix for free right now because it's still making a ton of money through these digital services retailing. That's why. That's why. When the sales start to taper a little bit, it'll go to Netflix. It'll join the rest of the movies. It'll happen. It's probably, and it's again, streaming rights. The streaming rights haven't run out as far as, selling it on these other platforms.
Yeah.
People don't think. They just assume that, because it's not on Netflix, oh, we shouldn't take it seriously. These were people that said that were using the fact that none of these DC movies were on Netflix as a reason why it would never happen. Now they're moving the goalposts again, saying it's once again now it's a thing. It keeps changing. And when Zack Snyder's Justice League does hit Netflix, you know what they'll say? Well, that doesn't mean anything. Just because Zack Snyder's Justice League is on Netflix doesn't mean that Netflix is going to somehow invest all this money to make a sequel.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
I don't know.
I don't understand the logic. I don't, but when you don't want to do like the work of actually thinking something through, it's
Yep. December is playoff time for Sal. I agree. Oh my God. Was there anything that we missed tonight? APass, because I thought there was something else we wanted to talk about, but I don't remember right now.
Cavill split. No, I don't think. I think we have it. We got everything.
I think so too. I think we did.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything. I believe that we had planned to talk about for today. Anybody in the chat, if there's something that you'd like us to touch on, put in your last comments or questions in the chat, because we are going to start wrapping this up.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, apparently Snoop Dogg has decided to quit smoking. TJ said. Interesting.
Well, I mean, it's a life choice, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
A question here. Have you guys been watching Invincible?
No, I need to watch that show. I don't know what is taking me so long, but I need to get on that.
Yeah, I've been watching it. I'm behind by a week, but yes, I've been watching it. I like it, but I mean, I read the original comics, so I'm excited for it, and it does kind of deviate and kind of do its own thing a little bit, but it's still good. It's still pretty good. I don't mind it. I think it's all right. What do you guys think of the new Hunger Games prequel?
I don't really care. And this is like somebody that read the books and like saw all the movies. But I don't care.
I don't either. I can honestly say that I don't care either. And I saw all the movies too. I saw all the other ones, but
yeah, the last two.
I think that story was told. I really do.
Exactly.
I binge watched the One Piece live show. It was fire. Okay, I still haven't watched One Piece yet. I'm behind on that.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that either.
I heard. Oh my God.
Oh. You know what, Batman? I can't help but agree with that. She's another one that is like cringe and like
she's
read the room.
She's about on that Brie Larson level at this point.
She is like she can't read the room at all. Like it's like this is all she sees. Like I don't know. But yeah.
And Sin Havoc says you got to watch from season 1. I think he's talking about
Invincible.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
and it's not
of
that
course.
there's not, it's not a whole lot of episodes. It's not something that will take you forever to watch. It's pretty easily digestible. The new Godzilla series on Apple TV, The Monarch.
Never gotten into that.
I didn't watch it yet. I haven't. Netflix Avatar live action looks good for those who've seen it. Any thoughts? Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
She's playing Snow White yet hates Snow White.
That's the thing. It's like, why did you even sign up for that role? I mean, I if you hate the character so much, like, I don't know. Disney princesses were not known for their, badassery. They weren't.
I'm so glad somebody finally said it, because are we like we're talking about Ripley, like we're talking about Ripley from Aliens here? It's
like what? Like what? Let's be real here. Let's be real.
I get that you want. I don't have any problem with, badass, well-written female characters. But when you literally want to take a Disney princess and somehow turn her into, again, Ripley from Aliens, you're kind of missing the mark there. That's not what the character was designed to be.
Not at all. And I wasn't a big Disney princess fan, but I loved Little Mermaid and I loved Sleeping Beauty. I only loved Sleeping Beauty because how beautiful it looked visually, everything was beautiful in that movie.
I couldn't agree more with you.
Yeah.
100%. Spot on as always, APass. I mean, it's for real. I've said it before. I can't ever disagree with you. You're always on point. It's incredible. We're just always on
the same page.
There's never any. It's insane how that works.
I know.
How did we find each other? I don't know. I took a literary class at Berkeley, and a major theme was how sexist fairy tales were sexist. Interesting topic. Sleeping Beauty with Maleficent, main bad guy of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, the video game. Oh my god, I loved that game.
Yeah, that game was fun on the PlayStation 2.
Yes, I loved that
it was so much fun. I loved it too.
I might go back and rewatch the gameplay.
I used to have it and I loved it. I'd play it all the time. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so well done. It was probably one of the best things Disney ever allowed to be put out.
For real. I loved it.
She played a stereotypical Disney princess in Shazam 2, and she didn't complain about that. Even had wicked sisters bullying her. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, she was.
The Disney Plus is allegedly shutting down in December. I don't know if I believe that rumor. I think Disney Plus. I don't know. If it shuts down, it'll merge with
Hulu.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a while, so maybe, I don't know.
It only makes sense.
I'm just waiting for the DMC anime Netflix is working on. They have a whole remastered Kingdom Hearts series on PS4. Wow.
Whoa.
APass and I played it on the PS2. So
and I only played the first one. I didn't play
that's it. That was me too. That's the first one. I didn't play none of the sequels. I was like, you know what? I'm good. This is great. I'm good. It's
I
like
don't
one of
need
those
any
things.
more.
You get that experience, and you're like, okay, that's cool. And now
Yeah.
we can move on to something else.
Right. Like, I'll go play Spider-Man 2, the video game or something, like, after that.
The man said salad. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And I'm gonna go ahead and play our Zack Snyder intro one more time.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Zack Snyder. Warner Brothers is the most amateur, incompetent movie studio of all time. I mean, like, ever. I don't get it. But you know who I do get? APass and ZodWriter. These two great people are huge fans of mine and have been since day one. They also just happen to do one of the most entertaining shows you will ever see on YouTube. So please like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and one last thing. Snyderverse, sell it.
Yeah. Yeah, so Zach completely endorses the Cell movement. He completely endorses our show.
Yes. What else do we need?
I think what else do we need? We're good. We're good in life. We have made it in life. We play Kingdom Hearts on the PS2. We are great.
Yes. We're good. Oh my. That's
Oh
funny.
my god. Like I could explain the modern nonsense, but time and space won't permit. No. Sega for life. I've played the whole Kingdom Hearts series and watched some on YouTube. It's a very complex series for a series with Donald Duck and Goofy as main characters. Yeah, it's very compelling. It's very compelling. And that first game that
Was
I played
amazing.
was amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, that's so
I heard that
funny.
Disney Plus is merging with Hulu. Announcement sometime next year. Yeah, I just didn't think it was going to happen in December because December's right around the corner. So I kind of figured maybe it would be a 2024 thing. I can't wait for
Yeah.
Devil May Cry. My son played Kingdom Hearts from PS2 to PS4. I can't wait for Tomb Raider. Mike Hawk, what's going on? How are you, buddy? Says I woke up to Zod on YouTube in the AM and now getting ready for bed, and Zod is still killing it. Hey, thanks, Mike. I appreciate the fact that you're there for all the shows. I'm glad you're enjoying Nostalgia Power, the show that I do with three other gentlemen on Saturday mornings, and we talk about all kinds of stuff from the 80s and 90s. It's a real nostalgia bump. That's why it's called Nostalgia Power. And I know not everybody sees it because not everybody's up that early, but it's a good show. It's a good stream. Steam PC sale is insane. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to send Havoc. I haven't actually looked at any of the sales on Steam. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
This is the show. I keep telling you, you have to be here for I Don't Get It. You can't miss it. Yeah, he said sell it. He did. He said it. He said sell it, and he also endorsed our show. So
yeah.
Fun stream. Yeah, definitely fun.
Thank you.
Fun stuff. Hashtag nostalgia power. Yes. I'm on there with PD7, the bad guy Mike Worley, and Jester Tester. And it's always a fun time. Hashtag nostalgia power. And with that, APass, was there anything else that you wanted to throw in for today's show, or do you think we?
I think we covered everything. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in as always, and it's always nice to interact with everyone and have such fun conversations. So look forward to doing more in the future for sure. So
Absolutely. I mean, we will be back. We will be back shortly. We're going to try to do these more often, but we have, but we always have to work out schedules. We work around each other's schedule which is why you don't get these every week, and sometimes it's a longer wait. But we try to make sure we can cram as much into a stream as possible, because we want you guys to be here for the whole thing and to enjoy it. And personally, I love every moment of it. Any chance I get to be here on stream with APass, I'm excited. Any chance I get to interact with this great chat of ours, it's so excited. It's wonderful. It's so exciting. So with that, what we're going to do to wrap things up is I'm going to play our I Don't Get It theme song, and we will see you guys next time.
Have a good one, everyone.
Why is James Gunn such a liar? Why does DC constantly fail and disappoint? How do APass and ZodWriter reconcile all the garbage in this joint? I don't get it, no matter how I try. I don't get it, the state of DC makes me want to cry. Won't WB bring back the Snyderverse? It seems like being a DC fan is nothing but a curse. The guy in charge is wacky and the studio sure is tacky. I don't get it, no matter how I try. I don't get it, the state of DC makes me want to cry. I don't get it, no, I don't get it. Come on, WB, please help me get it. Why is James Gunn such a liar? Why does DC constantly fail and disappoint? How do APass and ZodWriter reconcile